Welcome to the SpeakOut Pod, and yes, we are back with another episode. On this particular episode, we have a very special guest. As usual, we only bring special guests. He's an electrical engineer by profession from the premier best university in Ghana, Kwame Tech University. You can argue with your keyboard. Okay, so he's an electrical engineer. He's a practicing engineer. And on this episode, we come to discuss, the future in general. So AI is taking over the world, and it's a difficult conversation, but it's high time you have it. And this is our opinions on it. It doesn't mean that's what is going to happen, but it's just an eye opener so that you know what is going on out there. So before we start, I'm just going to give you an example of maybe what to expect. So there's something called the deep fake. The deep fake is an AI generated video where it looks like the person is speaking or the person is doing an action, but it's just AI which has generated it. And this is something that is going to take jobs, it's going to create confusion, it's going to take people to court because they'll say things allegedly that they've not said. So this is what the whole conversation is going to be about, and also about the jobs is about to take from us. So on this episode, we have Mr. Nilaye Wellington.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you very
so,
much.
yeah, so we are about to start, and the first thing we are going to tackle is the digital divide. And the digital divide basically is the gap we have right now, where people are not aware of technology or where we are right now because of their location or other situations. So that's where you are going to start. Um, in your opinion, where do you think the whole problem of digital divide stems
That's it. I'm thinking of several ways to answer the question. I don't know why I'm thinking of that, but I feel it stems from a number of things. But then if in my opinion, like you said, anyway, hello, my name is Nilai. Like he said, I am, I'm just Nilai. Anyway, um, these are our opinions, like he said. It's not something that is set in stone. But I think the biggest issue has to do with, or maybe stems from our educational system. Because it's interesting how, if you remember when we were in primary, the focus is really on IT skills. And the focus is on memory with math and English, and also the fact that internet access in Ghana for a pretty long time was seen as a luxury rather than a necessity. So, whereas some schools were of it, I think it's I don't know when exactly. I can't give specifics, but then it wasn't a thing where ICT was a course from like growing up. It was introduced at some point, mainly because you realize that we're falling behind. But then yeah, the digital divide is like you said, it's people having access to something and a large number of people in Ghana's case not having access to the same thing. Because if you live in the coastal area, I don't know why I'm saying the coastal instead of Accra, I could just say Accra. If you live in the coastal areas or like the south, you would think it's not that big of a divide, but it's huge. I can probably say that more people, not probably, more people in Ghana don't have access to IT facilities than people who do. Just that because we are exposed to people who do, we see it as something that is common, but it's actually not, to be honest. But yeah, I think it stems from our education. It's not something that is exposed to us at a very early stage. I mean, I don't want to go into university. So it just so happens that, do they know the course? You did. It just so happens that we did the same course, right? And there were many times, okay, we just said KNUST is the best school in Ghana. So anyway, there were many times that in programming class, we're writing on paper, right? How is that IT? Like that's a very good example. It really stems from our education, but yeah, that's what I think.
Unfortunately, that's the system right now. So it stems on us to make that conscious effort to break away from that. So that's where we need to change our mindset and mentality because right now the world is moving very fast. If you are slow, you'll be left behind. Unfortunately, that's the system. So right now we need to bridge the gap. We need to bridge the gap. So there are a lot of ways you can bridge the gap. I don't know for the rural areas the sensitization or the education being done there, but if you can, I think that should be the next big thing we should focus on. Okay, so right now you're done with the digital divide. You're coming to move to the main thing. That was just the icebreaker. So how is AI right now taking our jobs? Or like what's the importance of AI, the negativities of AI or the problems associated with AI? That's what you're about to do right now. So I have some data here which we'll put on the screen. So in 20, there's a picture from the World Economic Forum from 2023, and they came up with a report, right? So in 2022, the portions of tasks completed by humans versus AI is 34% to 66%. Now take a look at the projections for 2027. That's 43 to 57%, which shows that gradually AI is taking over. Gradually, it's not even gradual. Right now, it's
Rapid,
very fast,
very rapid.
rapid. So Nilay, now let's shift to this side. What jobs do you think AI is taking over rapidly?
Anything that anything that can be spelt out and can be repeated, AI can take over. It might not be simple at the start, but then if you look at anything from data entry to processes to I'm struggling to think of specifics, even though I had some specifics in my head. But then anything that can be repeated. So let's say you come to work and then you log something. So let's say you work in a factory, right? You come to work and you log something. And then at 2 p.m. you're supposed to log something else. You're supposed to give an update. At 3 p.m. you are supposed to maybe reference what happened in your past update for something that would happen in the evening. Let's say the process that you're handling goes through the whole day. This is something that while we are having this conversation, you can already see how AI can take over this. As long as it can be repeated, it has a step by step sequence. You do your basically AI can take over that aspect.
The other day we were having a conversation, just quiet with me, and we were talking about this Excel stuff, the macro, where there were jobs we were supposed to do every single day, and instead of PDF in an entire Excel file for like 20 times, you can just give a macro to do that for you. And that's an example of how AI or maybe coding is taking over. And that's something where we should be abreast with. Because if you don't know how to code right now,
You do your honestly when
of
like the thing we're speaking about, it's something at work. So it's basically some process that we're supposed to do, right? And if you're doing it the manual way, it's quite tedious. Imagine taking a book from here, then sending it to another place. Once it's checked, then you bring it back to where it was after it's checked. We're supposed to do that, but in Excel, essentially. And it's very annoying because you're doing the exact same thing for like 20 different books or 20 different boxes. So we realized this and we decided that the white man has given us a simple way to do this thing. So let's try and use a code to do this. And in
second,
seconds, the
so
problem was solved. Second, just recently, I was telling him about a very similar thing. Something that used to take me, that thing could take me like 2 days to do. Because you have to balance out the numbers. It could take me 2 days to do. So my boss would always be on my neck to try and do that thing. And I was feeling lazy, right? So I said, I'm not going to manually do this thing. I'm going to let ChatGPT do it for me. In the process of letting ChatGPT do it for me, I realized that it's the same thing. You could just use a code to do it. So while you are solving a problem, it also shows us the scary side, which is a robot just did something that you were struggling to do in 1 minute. Which means that technically, if we could train the robots very well, we don't need you. Essentially. So yeah, you are clapping for the white man, but you should also be scared of the implications.
People are really getting laid off in recent times because their jobs are being taken over. I mean, right now Tesla is doing
Yeah,
self-driving cars. Imagine if you're a chauffeur, you're out of business.
The self-driving cars, then they test them, then they test them, then they test them. The moment approval is given, like the moment it reaches a point where you can say that it's like 90% safe, where and these are in much more developed countries where all the road markings are there. Once it hits that approval stage, that's it.
Okay, so um, there's also a picture of just to be posted on the screen. Top five fastest declining jobs: bank tellers and related clerks, postal service clerks, cashiers and ticket clerks, data entry clerks, as we just discussed, administrative and executive secretary. That one is debatable, though, but now,
The administrative secretary might be debatable if it's a personal assistant role. Because although, I mean, right now there's Alexa, right? Although there are AI personal assistants, sometimes what you do can be very, yeah, you need a human touch. If I'm a, even that stuff, even that, if I'm a fashion designer, for example, and I work with a variety of clients, AI might be able to help me with maybe the marketing because now there's video AI. But then when it comes to on the go, even that, see, I'm trying to find a way that AI cannot do it, but then low key,
yeah. But you see, this is where we come in. This is where we should take advantage of AI. So recently on Twitter, there was a guy that tweeted that right now FPL people are using AI to
period.
do it, machine learning. So you can just pick the stats of the players and try and bring up a way or like a routine or something that's to show that the players are performing so that you can add them to your team. So although it's cheating because you're not using your own mind to do it.
Yeah, AI is helping you because it's a pattern. As long as we can see that Salah scores, them say he breaks on record. The 10 opening days, he has, yeah, successively, he has given a goal or an assist. AI can track this for in multiple ways that you can't track it. So AI will know that you should use Salah, you should use KDB, or you should use something. So it's unfair, but how we go do it?
So in any other jobs you are doing, you can use AI to survey the market, give it a prompt, maybe how many people or how many projected people are going to maybe go to this style or like how I don't know something of that sort, just so that you are abreast of what's going to happen. So now, top five fastest growing jobs: AI and machine learning specialist, sustainability specialist, business intelligence analyst, information security specialist, and fintech engineers. Those of you who watched our video with Mr. Martin Ayado, he spoke about fintech.
The fintech people then they make money.
Yes,
Them
they make a lot of money. So if you're an engineer or like a data scientist or whatever, and you branch into fintech, that's where the world is. That's where the world is headed towards. Sustainability. Right now, you're looking at moving from. So, for example, in the power industry, you're looking at moving from these carbon emissions to green and clean energy. Eventually, that's going to be the talk of town, and AI is going to really help with that kind of research. So, basically, this is a picture I wanted to bring our minds towards that this is where the world is towards. So, as you said, the jobs at risk are those that are repetitive, predictable.
And you see, the sad thing is, for now, we know that if your job is repetitive and routine, AI can take over. But then AI is improving rapidly. So you can't even tell what is going to happen in the next 5 years. There was a point where ChatGPT was only useful for writing an essay very quickly. And now people are using ChatGPT to build apps. People are using DeepSeek. There's this, oh wow, there's this, so I had an assignment in school, University of Ghana, don't cancel my paper. But I had an assignment in school where we're supposed to do a PowerPoint presentation, right? The lecturer came to the class and I was doing it the manual way. So I was talking about papaya. I was looking for pictures of papaya, copy and paste, insert image as. And then someone behind me said, have you heard of Gen Shark? Gen Spark or Gen Shark. Yeah. He said he can do this for you in seconds. I said, you sure? He said, sure. I was like, okay, sure. Then so all you need to do is tell Gen Spark or Gen Shark? Gen Spark. Tell the AI what you want the PDF to look like or the PowerPoint to look like. And while the lecturer was saying submit your work, it was preparing the slides for me. What would have taken me the whole day to do? This thing did it like this. All I had to do was send it downstairs. They printed it. So it'd be helpful, but it'd be
It's
scary. But
scary, you see. That's really well. Okay, so jobs that will survive the AI take over. We have the human-centered roles: doctors, nurses, teachers, counselors. All those ones need a human touch. And AI can be a therapist. It has no emotions. Now, artists, creative fields, artists, designers, writers, filmmakers. You have also managers, entrepreneurs, researchers, electricians, plumbers, chefs, technicians. So whatever work you are doing right now, just try and advance. Because I was reading something recently, Kodak. They are a camera company. But you realize that you hardly hear of Kodak right now. They couldn't keep up with the competition. They weren't advancing. So they fell behind. Basically, so if you are doing these menial jobs, try and advance. Whatever you are doing, take a step forward so that you can keep up with the competition. Because right now, AI is what's going to.
yeah, AI is what's going to take over. It's true. You just need to try, and we are not saying that go and study prompt engineering or go and study AI if you are a creative. You can just, if I have a business, right? I'm selling shoes, and he also has a business. He's selling shoes, and he wants to do it the traditional way, where he'll go door to door or he'll try and advertise the traditional way. He needs to now look for people who wear the shoes because his size doesn't fit all. He'll need to look for, you need to pay money for advertising. You need to do a lot of things. Whereas I can sit down because I have practiced how to use AI tools and do everything. Your whole advertising campaign can be done on your PC from home for so little compared to like the manual way of doing things.
So if you can hear us right now, basically we are just trying to tell you that you have to bridge the gap. It's an intentional effort. You have to do it for yourself. No matter what you are doing, whether you're a fashion designer, a nurse, a doctor, you have to bridge that gap. You have to advance yourself by taking advantage of these two. So instead of them to take advantage and take your jobs, you should take.
Be prepared. Yeah, be prepared. It's not that when your company decides that we have invested in a particular app, so now the app is going to do this, and then you say, oh, me, I don't know how to use this app. Oh, they are bringing AI. No, you need to sit down and research that, oh, what apps can make my job simpler? Because eventually, the management of your company will realize that this app makes the work simpler. So when they bring the app, they will want people who already know how to use the app. And that's where you will shine over someone else. Rather than just sitting down saying that I'm so valuable because I'm the only person who knows how to use this thing. Eventually, AI is just going to kick you out.
Exactly, exactly. So it's about being proactive. You have to bridge the gap yourself. Intentionality. AI is really doing a lot of wonders right now. Recently, I was helping some of my office set up AI, and he was so excited. Do this, ChatGPT, do this, do this, do this, and he has everything he wants. Rather than going to Google to search, sometimes you can get a result. You have to right now. Everything is at our disposal.
It's up to us to just be intentional. I like the way you talk intentional. You have to be intentional about it. Other than that, because we started this thing speaking about the coding issue that we had. We could have just sat down there and said this thing is annoying. We'll just figure out a way to do it later. But then I came to work the next day and he had already brought out a code. So all I had to do was just modify it to suit my needs. Yes, it's you have to be very proactive about it. Other than that, Charlie.
Finally, we are about ending, right? Okay, so you've given our points. These things, I think you have to really consider them. You have to make time and listen because this is where the world is headed towards. You know, AI, yes, is here to take jobs, true, but then there are certain jobs that it can't take from you. So you have to use it to advance. For example, in agriculture, you can use AI to advance, getting certain machines, models, tools, automating certain processes. to even make your job easier. In education, personalized learning, I mean, everything is there to help you. So at this point, whatever field you find yourself in, just take advantage, take a step further, and it's going to be marvelous and wonderful. And we are all going to be
Yeah, amen.
billionaires. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I guess so. In conclusion, right? In conclusion, I have a few advertisements. Do you have anything else to advertise?
Interesting question. I didn't think of that. You start. I'm
Okay.
trying to think of something.
Okay, so and before I go on to that, on the last video we received a lot of positive comments, positive updates, and constructive criticism, and it was very good. I mean, we are improving. In about 5 days, we had about 100 views plus or something. I'm really glad that you guys are supporting us. So please keep supporting us. If you want to rent a camera, a drone, Snapcraft Media, we are here for you. The flyer will be displayed. Come on the screen. Now, these events, as you spoke about in the last podcast, if you want to, if you're having an event and you need someone to cater for all your needs, reach out to these events. Mr. Mike Losa, sorry, thank you for showing up the last time. If you want to reach out to him for your ACs, your keyboardist for your events or whatever, he's available. You can reach out to me on my IG. I'll link him to you.
Okay, so I thought of one. Travel with Chief. If you want to travel, essentially, if you think say Charlie Ghana they worry you, this AI talk they scare you. You want to go to white man's land which is worse,
It's
but
worse.
at least they'll train you better. Travel with Chief. You can look him up on Instagram, Twitter, anyway, and he helps very legitimately you to travel because there are a lot of fraudsters out there. You don't want someone to take your money and say, "I'll give you US visa," and give you US visa. So yeah, travel with Chief. Try and check that out.
So basically, be creative, be innovative, and you are here to stay. No one can take over whatever you do. Guys, then again, this has been the SpeakOut Pod. My name is Oheneba. I did this with Nilaye Wellington. A very brilliant and insightful episode. Catch you on the next one. See you.